Jiggity, jiggity Jace, are you just getting out of bed?
It's Tour Pro Tuesday.
It is Tour Pro Tuesday. What's going on in the world of golf? I mean, I think we do something on Joel Dahmen.
I think so.
Talking about what people need to do in order to be able to keep their speed up as they start to get up there in years.
That's a good idea. How to have speed but be safe.
One of the most common questions that I get as a golf instructor, how do I maintain my speed as I get older? And am I capable of being able to produce more speed than I currently am? And my answer back to every single person is yes, you are capable of being able to produce more speed than you currently are. And the best way to maintain your speed as you start to get older is to start a speed training system right away. That's right, you heard it from my mouth, because we have better data. And I was never a big believer in a speed training system just because I understood that it could potentially put the body in harm's way. But now that we can actually see the long-term effects of this and understand that there is some good that can come out of it, I'm a big believer in it. But on top of that, what you have to remember is that you can't just go out there and start to speed train, because there's two other factors that play a role in this. And that's a big understanding of how ground force is your friend. Having a better relationship with the ground and understanding how the ground is going to help you generate the forces that you need to apply to the grip in the golf club is one of those things that I want you to all start getting on board with. Because if you don't use ground force, then you're limiting yourself to about 60% of what you're capable of being able to produce. 60%. The ground is your friend. How you use the ground should be a friendly interaction, and it should help you generate the forces like torque and horizontal natured force or lateral force or vertical forces that exist in the swing shape. Those are the three main forces, and finding that perfect balance and that blend of how you should be working through it is exactly what we're going to talk a little bit about here today. Joel is 37 years old. He's not old by any means, and he's got a lot of big years in front of him. And I'm super pumped that he made that putt on 18, and to see the emotion that comes out of him is a very sort of good look into what golfers feel out there. We're very emotional people about our sport, and we like to go out there and put our blood, sweat, and tears into the mix. And when you get a chance to go out there and shoot a number like he did and stay on the PGA Tour, there's no better feeling. Okay, we're gonna do something kind of fun here today, but I wanted to basically start out by showing you the importance of using your feet and the connection to the ground to help generate the forces that we need to generate in the swing shape. And we're gonna look at this on the left-hand side of the screen first. And what we're gonna make as our goal here today is to simplify your loading and your unloading processes. I want you to watch the feet here really closely. And a lot of you have probably heard me describe the feet like this, where we have our go zone here on both feet, and then we've got our little small sections called the no-go zone. So back in here. So when you look at the footwork in the golf swing, what you're going to notice is that a bulk of the pressure is going to move towards the right heel, right ankle. And we're going to get our pressure filled up in that trail side of that green section. And then as we start to move onto our left side, a lot of that pressure is going to move to the forward part of the foot, but we're going to quickly try to get it back underneath that green section and rotate the hip from there. That is something that I want you to get really addicted to when it comes to swinging the golf club, because that's a safe way for you to be able to rotate the hip and keep the stress off the knees. But that's not what we're here talking about today. We're here talking about how the ground is going to help you significantly when it comes to creating the proper movement in the swing shape. And a lot of you struggle with this because you get yourself frozen over the golf ball, and you're not allowing the lead side of the body to soften up as you start to load up the trail side. Now, a good way to think about this movement here today is I'm going to cut Joel perfectly in half. I'm going to draw a line straight down from the center of his head here down to the ground. And I'm also going to draw a couple lines up from the trail side of the body straight up. So this is what we call our load line. And then on the lead side of the body, this is what we call our unload line. Now, anytime you hear me reference the center of mass, we're going to think about that from kind of the belt buckle to the belly button. So right in here. What we're trying to do in the golf swing is we're trying to shift and turn our body, but we want to be able to do that without getting our head moving all over the place. And a great way to kind of think about how to create a good shift in the golf swing is to shift your belt buckle in behind this line. Shift it towards the trail side and push about 70% of your weight underneath the right heel, right ankle. And that's exactly what you're going to see here. Now, in order to make that movement happen properly, your left side needs to respond to it. It needs to react. It doesn't want to restrict that movement. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to create real load pressure to that side. So softening the left leg, softening the left hip, keeping the left shoulder and the left arm very relaxed, and just thinking about shifting the belt buckle in behind the golf ball here. Now from here, what we need to do is we need to stay very centered. And a lot of you struggle with this because a lot of you just aren't connected to the big muscles that you need to use, like your lats or your abs, your obliques. These are the muscle groups that a lot of us want to use, and you probably are using, but you just don't realize it. And a simple way to be able to create good center rotation is to think about pulling this right hip back up and away from where the golf ball is, back towards your center of your spine or back towards the spine. And the same thing would apply to your right shoulder. Think about taking that right shoulder and pulling it up and behind your head. Now, I obviously understand that the core is going to be responsible for rotating the hips and rotating the shoulders, but this is a simpler way for a lot of you to create that perfect load procedure and set yourself up to be able to start attacking the downswing. So think about the right side of the body, once you make that pressure shift, as being the primary driver of your movement. Right hip back and away, right shoulder back in behind your head, and you're going to start facilitating a lot of the big turn from those bigger muscles, and you're going to get a lot of engagement that's going to help you set up the lead side movement. Now, in transition, this is where things start to change quite a bit. This is where we start to get the body moving back over to our left side. And what you're going to see here is that the center of mass is a great deal in behind the ball, but it's going to move a significant amount here in that first initial phase of weight transfer. It is now in front of where it was at address. Now we've got a bulk of the pressure moved underneath our lead foot. What do you think should start to happen from here? Well, now we want the trail side of the body to start to react to what the lead side is doing. The right side should have helped assist to get this movement started, but now it's time for the left side to do its job. But how do we use the left side of the body at high rates of speed and get connected to something? And the best and most efficient way for you to do this is just to think about the post-up movement. Drive that left ankle into the ground. Think about that go zone position. So underneath that left ankle position, push that thing down into the ground. And think about pulling your left hip back and away from where the golf ball is. That right there, in order to be able to make that movement happen, you have to have some glute activation. You'll have some quad and some hamstring activation as well, but you'll also have your obliques activated. That's a great thing. So you're using the big muscles, but doing it in a very indirect way, doing it in a simplified manner, which is what it's all about. We can get as complicated as you want when it comes to swinging the golf club, but we have to figure out different ways for you to be able to move at speed so that you're not looking like a folded up lawn chair, so that you can actually produce real speed. The golf swing is a fast movement. Use the right side of your body and allow the left side to react properly going back. As you start to get that body turned full and you start to move your pressure on your lead side and you feel that significant change to the pressure, then start using the left side of your body and you'll avoid the common faults like early extension or spinning out. You'll have better impact positions and you'll have a whole lot more club head speed. We'll see you guys later on in the week. See you in the next video.